Very good evening to you. I am Ryan Broom with the Thursday, November 9th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, the local justice system was busy today. First, a shooting and several decisions in court. One of them regarding Andre Omar Jackman, alias Lord Evil, who was held by lawmen for violating his bail conditions. Our Lisa Broom has been monitoring the courts today. And Lisa?
Well, there's lots of news on the police front this evening, Ryan. We begin with this one. Andre Omar Jackman, alias Lord Evil, was held by lawmen for violating his bail conditions. Members of the anti-gun unit and officers from the District E police station held the 38-year-old who lives at Stroud Bay, Crab Hill, St. Lucie in that neighborhood around 8 last night. He appeared before Acting Judge Alric Scott in the Supreme Court and was allowed to continue his bail, but he is to reappear in court tomorrow. Well, next, a 64-year-old man is nursing an injury tonight. He was shot in the left foot as two men were trying to rob the Buckley plantation in St. George, where he is a supervisor manager. Now, early investigations show that Charles Bino had returned to the plantation when he encountered two men, one of them armed with a gun. And as they tried to rob him, the assailants fired 2 shots at Bino and fled the scene with an undisclosed sum of money. Bino was taken to hospital by ambulance for medical attention. Now, as you might remember, Ryan, the St. Lucie man who was arrested for allegedly committing a number of offences against Commissioner of Police Tyrone Griffith over the weekend, well, he reappeared in the Holtown Magistrates Court today and has been further remanded to prison. Dwayne DeCarlo Griffith of Crab Hill was charged with obstructing police in the execution of duty, assaulting police in the execution of duty, and resisting police in the execution of duty. Griffith's next court date is December 7th. And then on Tuesday, an operation comprising members of the anti-gun tactical response Canine and Marine units managed to make a dent in the number of illegal weapons on the streets. They seized 1 gun, a quantity of ammunition, as well as some illegal drugs. And they arrested 17-year-old Jaquan Antonio Richards of LaSalle's Terrace Pineland St. Michael in the process. Richards went before Magistrate Christy Cuffy Sargent in the District A Magistrates Court, where he was remanded on charges of unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of 7 rounds of ammunition, and unlawful possession of cannabis. Now, he reappears in court on December 7th. And finally, it's off to Dodds Prison and the Government Industrial School for 2 teenaged boys. They were held in connection with the stabbing of a schoolmate on board a Transport Board bus this week. The injured boy, who is 15 years old, was stabbed following an argument as the bus was traveling along Seaview in St. James, and that was on Tuesday evening. Now, the 2 schoolboys, ages 14 and 16, were formally charged with serious bodily harm. They appeared before Magistrate Wanda Blair in the Holtown Magistrates Court. The 16-year-old was remanded to prison, while the 14-year-old was remanded to the Government Industrial School. Both of them are expected to reappear in court on December 5th, I beg your pardon. So, Ryan, as I said, a pretty busy week for the police and the courts. Of course, we'll be keeping tabs on those stories and we'll keep you updated as those developments come to hand. Ryan?
Well, thanks so much, Lisa. Well, Barbados' court system isn't being left out of the advances in technology. Already, Registrar of the Supreme Court, Barbara Cook-Aline, says recording equipment provided to the Magistrates Court is making it a bit easier for magistrates. She also welcomes the review system of the operating system of the High Court.
That's being sponsored by Juris. That's a regional organization sponsored by Canada. It's actually headed by our Chief Justice in the region, and they're looking at how we can improve the system in the High Court, where documents are filed, the criminal and the civil matters, but mainly emphasizing the civil matters. So in the process of having that final report laid before so we can actually improve our system. We also want to have a system in place, a case management system, within the next year or so, where you can actually file your documents by email and payment online. So we're looking at the future in the 21st century, finally, for the courts, and we're getting there.
Now, with respect to the backlog in court cases, Ms. Cook-Aline says mediation can help assist in this regard.
That is coming slowly, not as fast as we would like, but it will make a difference when it actually gets up to speed. And then there are other measures the Chief Justice will put in place. I won't speak about those. He'll bring them to the media himself. That would help with backlog as well.
A recently formed group wants action taken by the judiciary ensuring fathers have access to their children. Access to Fathers is being led by social activist Cami Holder, who says he was left with no choice but to turn to social media to highlight his plight. After going live, he has won the support of several Barbadians, with a posting being shared on Facebook. Mr. Holder maintains that access to fathers is a right.
In Bermuda, each parent is guaranteed a minimum of 50 hours. Australia has gone a step further, whereby if a woman is in default of an access order, the first order of business is that the passport is taken away, driver's license is taken away, and on the third strike, she's imprisoned for breach of that access order. Now, we are saying we don't want a confrontation. We want the legislators to take some action to ensure that fathers who have a legitimate interest in their kids are given access. We are not saying that if a child is in danger that a parent should be given access, but we're saying something needs to happen.
While acknowledging that the Men's Educational Support Association, or MESA, has been tackling the issue for some time, Mr. Holder says access for fathers isn't deterred.
I would try. It's about trying. The effort, your answer is always no if you don't try. We will never know. What I will say to you that this has attracted the attention of the general government, not the government general, the Attorney General. So I'm saying that people are concerned about this issue. Because it's not only about me, it's about our society on the whole.
More than 500 Barbadians will be employed when the newest Sandals Hotel opens its doors here next month. And in preparation for the occasion, the new staff members have been attending a week-long orientation session at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center. Ariane Phillips tells us more.
These are just some of the new faces that will be at the Sandals Royal property when it opens next month. As expected, they are excited about their new jobs.
This is an amazing opportunity, and I feel that I am blessed because of so many people that decided to apply for Sandals, and we all know that it was a tough decision process, and Sandals wants the best of the best.
I feel pretty excited because it is something that is an area that I could have a lot of growth in. I haven't done graphic design in the past. There's always opportunities to better my skills, and going on to do photo editing, which is something that I would not focus on in the past. It just gives me an opportunity to broaden my horizons.
I feel very special to be granted the opportunity to be moving in Sandals Royal Barbados. I feel that that's a very blessed privilege that I have, so I'm looking to take advantage of it.
It feels good. First day here was like crop over. It was like so festive, and I've never worked in the hotel business before, but this was like, yeah, I want to be here.
At this week-long orientation session at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center, they will learn about the hotel's policies and operations.
This is the first part of their journey where we get them accustomed to the standards, the expectations, introduce them to the brand and what we do and how we do it. So this is a very important part of their training over the next 5 days. I believe on Fridays when they go through the first AED exercise, where they will learn life-saving techniques, which of course we always hope we never have to use, but it's very useful for them to know that in case of not only guests but also fellow team members.
The Sandals Royal property will open on December 20th and is already 95% booked. Brianne Phillips, CBC News.
Thanks, Rianne. Well, we have an important notice here. Parents and guardians of pupils attending Belmont Primary School at My Lord's Hill, St. Michael, are advised that the school will remain closed tomorrow, Friday, November 10th, due to an environmental problem in the area. The Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation has reassured parents that its officers and those of the Ministry of Health are working assiduously to find the source of the problem. The ministry says it regrets any inconvenience caused. Well, we take a pause here, but we have some good news for avid readers after the break.
Upgrade to Digicel's Quick Pick Bundles. Save big on data. Get data and get unlimited WhatsApp messaging and Digicel talk. Pick a 1-day bundle, a 7-day bundle, or for the best value, a 30-day bundle. Save money every single day. Pick the bundle that's right for you. Go to My Digicel app or dial *246 # to buy a Quick Pick bundle today. Digicel.
It started with my love for making things. That became a business. And when I wanted to expand, I chose a partner that could help me build on my vision. A partner that made growing my business easier with fewer steps. That's banking that starts with me.
It starts with you. Scotiabank.
November 25th. Tickets available at CBC The Pine, Superstyle Shoe Shops at Sky Mall and Bridgetown.
Help support the restoration efforts for the hundreds of thousands affected by catastrophic hurricanes. Donate to the Red Cross Hurricane Relief account at any branch of the following: CIBC First Caribbean, account number 10011633436. First Citizens, 500-900-00588. RBC Royal Bank, 210-05073. And Republic Bank, 01804-153-1001. Monies raised will be sent to the International Red Cross for its restoration work for affected persons. Appeal closes 30th November 2017. Persons wishing to post checks should make these out to Red Cross Hurricane Relief Appeal Account and post to Barbados Red Cross Society, P.O. Box 300, Bridgetown, or hand deliver to the Red Cross Warrens Headquarters. The Barbados Red Cross and commercial banks, on behalf of the victims of catastrophic hurricanes, thank all persons and businesses for their contributions.
Welcome back. Well, the world's largest floating book fair is here and open for business. It dropped anchor in the Bridgetown port on Tuesday and is now set up at its home for the next 5 days at the Flour Mill. Lisa Broom was on board and filed this report.
For a book lover like me, I can admit that I'm really excited. With about 5,000 titles on board, the world's largest floating book fair is here. The Logos Hope opened this morning at the Flour Mill and all are invited to come down. An avid reader himself, Parliamentary Secretary in the Education Ministry, Harcourt Husbands, cut the ribbon, officially opening the Logos Hope. And it seems the early patrons could not wait to get their hands on what was on offer. They not only browsed, but got in some purchases as well.
Right now, I feel like a kid who's been let loose in a candy store. I am so looking forward to buying books.
Usually, I download a lot of books on my Kindle. It's easier for me to read, easier on my eyes, but I would buy books for others if I can think of who. Right now, I think maybe a Bible for my son.
I think it's very exciting to have the Logos in Barbados. We always look forward to when it comes, because we know that it brings a number of books and we have an opportunity to peruse and stock up our libraries.
Earlier, the Senator said the ship's arrival coincided with the ministry's launch of the STEP program. The acronym stands for Student Teacher Effectiveness Plans, of which reading is a key component.
We couldn't do all the work that we have done and we are currently doing in the area of reading and literature without the assistance of a number of partners. Your visit here today and the visits that you have made to Barbados in the past put you in that category as a partner of the Ministry of Education in spreading amongst the Barbadian people the significance and importance of reading.
Now, aside from making a variety of mostly Christian literature available, the staff of the Logos also venture into communities to volunteer with various projects. Director Pil Hung Park outlined some of what will be done over the next few days.
We want to visit the secondary schools so that we can share our experiences, international crew, to them, so that they can have open eyes to the world. So and also we want to focus on social justice, so that we can awareness of social justice in different conferences, onboardship, and opportunities on shore as well.
In addition to nearly 400 crew and volunteers on board from 62 countries, between 20 and 25 Barbadians will help out on this visit. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
Thanks, Lisa. But just to make a correction to that story, the Logos will be here for 10 days and not 5. And I'll be sure to be there this weekend. Well, in other news, the creative minds behind the special talent display throughout the NIFCA season will be getting more for their efforts this year. The Massey Foundation has taken up the mantle of providing the creators prizes in music, dance, and theatre, taking up the cash value from $2,500 to $3,000 per recipient. Chairman of the Massey Foundation, Everton Brown, says their involvement in the arts stems from a belief that a nation must be fueled by more than economic indicators.
By its nature, the NIFCA Massey Foundation Creators Prizes seek to support the creative development of each recipient through formal and/or practical training, as well as investment in equipment. This in turn, we believe, has the potential to trickle down to a wider sphere of influence, serving as a catalyst for creative growth and impacting a greater number of persons.
Speaking at a media briefing at Massey's corporate office this evening, Chief Cultural Officer at the NCF, Andrea Wells, revealed the details of the prizes.
The Massey's Creators Prize is a scholarship, 3 scholarships actually, valued at $3,000 each, offered in each of the performing arts disciplines for the creator that best demonstrates originality in his or her script writing, musical composition, choreography, and/or artistic direction of an award-winning entry. The winner will be selected from among nominees assessed by the respective judging panel.
7 residents of the Thelma Vaughan Memorial Home all have brighter smiles thanks to the Lions Club of Barbados Central and Agape Dental. Ian Beckles, a member of the club, is a project manager for the initiative. He tells CBC News the club has adopted the Thelma Vaughan Home, and this is just one of the several ongoing projects that are being done there.
This project is a dental cleaning for all of the residents at the home. And instead of making it a one-off project, we're going to make it an ongoing project where we follow it up. And after the basic cleanings that we're getting done, it's going to be a case where not if the residents has to get like dentures and stuff like that, all those things we'll put in place. It is something different, you know. Apart from the norm where that you give gifts for birthdays, you know, it's something that is more tangible.
And Brenda Grosvenor Lovell, the under matron at the Thelma Vaughan Home, says they were approached by the club and dentists came in to conduct preliminary checks. She says the project is welcomed, considering that residents would usually only attend the dentist in emergency cases.
I think it's very good. It's very good that somebody or a group of people could reach out to us, to the disability. I think it's very good. It's a very, very good idea.
Although many businesses have been staunch supporters of the Salvation Army, a senior member of the Army says more can help. Public Relations Officer Major Denzel Walcott says many prefer to give to what he is described as the more high-profile causes. He says corporate Barbados in many cases play to the publicity that they can get from certain donations, and that's not an ideal situation for the Salvation Army.
A lot of companies support sports, especially in recent times. Although there are companies that give to road tennis, there are a lot of companies that look at other sports, and they'll quicker give to sports than give to the programs that we're doing. That's all I'll say about it. They get more mileage from sports. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So we're hoping that this year things will turn around for them as well.
Major Walker was speaking to the media ahead of tomorrow's official launch of the Salvation Army's Christmas appeal. 33 kettles will be set up across the island and 25,000 envelopes mailed out in the hopes of making this year's $750,000 target. Although they fell short by $250,000 last year, Major Walker says they've started training the volunteers who will man the kettles in new techniques that should encourage people to give more. 69 Class 3 students from Holy Innocents and Sharon Primary are beaming tonight after becoming the latest beneficiaries of brand new tablets from the Aaron and Christina Trust Foundation. The tablets were presented to the lucky pupils this morning at Sharon Primary in St. Thomas, and the school's principal, Ms. Pamela Small-Williams, says it's pleasing when Barbadians recognize the need to give.
I see the poverty of parents. I see those who don't have every day. And I am telling you, these children will be most appreciative. And remember, it's a gift. And when a gift is given you, embrace it. And you treat it well. And I know you're going to do that because it is a gift. Many of your parents would have been unable to purchase you a tablet. But today, thanks be to God, we have a generous person and his wife who are continuing to give to the nation of Barbados.
Well, the foundation has now donated 700 tablets to 15 schools on the island, and founder Aaron Trust told the students it is important that they know why they are getting the tablets.
The tablets are to be used for your education and curriculum, but we know you'll play games. You'll know you'll use them for looking for things on the internet, and that's really all fine because you're learning how to use technology. And there are going to be very few jobs in the future that you'll be able to do without a good working knowledge of technology. So this we see as really an opportunity for you to learn this technology and become familiar with these devices, so that when you're older, you'll be able to enter the workforce properly and be able to contribute back to Barbados.
An MP for the area, Cynthia Ford, urged the students to write letters to the foundation to show their gratitude.
I am sure that will bless their heart more than anything else, because they're not doing it for promotion. They're doing it because they see the need for education, to have that infusion of the technology in order to meet the needs of Barbadian children of the future. And we're starting with your class 3 last year, your class 3 again this year, and I'm sure that parents will try to source their own to make sure that all children are on the cutting edge of the technological age.
Now we take another break here, but when we return, we take a look at stories making headlines across the region.
Hey there! Yes, you! Yes, Flow customers, you've topped up, signed up, paid your bill on time and in full. Now you can win over $250,000 in cash and prizes. It's time to play
Extra Party Flow!
You could win smart TVs, cell phones, cash, and more weekly. Visit www.discoverflow.co or see price for details. Cable and wireless terms and conditions apply.
This is your lucky day. All you need to do is play 9 times Lucky, the new scratch game from the Barbados Lottery, with 49 chances to win on each ticket. You could win the top prize of $109,000.
Honey, this kitchen needs painting.
Why not the whole house?
We hit in the jackpot at Berger Paints.
Enter to win free paint in one of 7 prizes in the Auntie McCall Lucky 7 jackpot worth $140,000. Just spend $100 at Brighton Stokes, Brighton Express and Stationery, Brighton Insurance Standard, MQI, Berger Paints, or Consolidated Finance. Enter your code online at www.answerlucky7jackpot.com for your chance to win. See website for full details.
Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
Consumers in Dominica have been advised to guard themselves against the gouging of prices of food items after Hurricane Maria, since the government has reduced duties on foodstuff. Comptroller of Customs Roderick Deschamps expects businesses to capitalize on the reduced rates and pass it on to the consumer. There have been reports that prices of items are being raised on the island by those who wanted to cash in on the devastation caused by Maria.
The duties now have been reduced to 5.5%. I am trying to understand the reasons why I would not expect carrots to drop in price. To me, it makes absolutely no mathematical sense. We have things like grapes and apples, the duties is almost 70%. And as I said, the basic food items, a lot of them is about 45%. I would expect, I'm not sure if it's happening yet, that prices on the shelf, as the Prime Minister indicated, should go down.
A threat to cripple operations at the Piarco International Airport in Trinidad still remains, despite an agreement from PSA President Watson Duke to meet with the Finance Minister. Minister Cole Imbert's invitation to meet comes on the eve of the PSA's call for customs and excise workers to take today and tomorrow to rest and reflect.
Watson Duke says when the invitation to meet with the Finance Minister came, he was going into that meeting with good intentions. After all, the PSA president says he's been asking for such a meeting since November 2015. But he says his mood changed when he learned of that meeting's agenda through the media, which received a press release today stating that the purpose of the meeting was to clarify government's aims and objectives. And it's a clarifying part that has angered Mr. Duke.
It is not a favor. He bound and must treat with me. There's no favor in this. It must be absolutely clear.
Mr. Duke says the word clarify insults the union, as it is the minister's job to consult, not clarify.
He must and have to unbound consult with me. This is the law. It's not a favor. And we do not want any clarification meeting with the minister.
But Mr. Duke says he's still going to that meeting.
I'll be going to that meeting, but I'm not going there seeking any clarification. I'm going there to consult.
So does tomorrow's call for customs and excise workers to take 2 days off to rest and reflect still stand?
I say yes, the workers are on holidays tomorrow.
A move that the PSA expects to affect the nation's ports of entry.
And I've gotten good information that the airport may not be an airport tomorrow. I've received good information that the shipping industry may not be working well tomorrow and Friday.
The Labour Minister has asked public servants not to heed that call, saying there is no issue of public service job security. The Finance Ministry, meanwhile, sent out another press release which it labelled Facts on the TTRA. In it, it stated that no jobs will be lost when workers move from the BIR to the TTRA. All benefits will remain the same and workers will have a better working environment. Mr. Duke wants that confirmed.
They just can't say, yes, all workers secure. No. Let's put it in writing.
Police officers from the Caribbean are meeting in St. Lucia this week, hoping to find a way to stamp out political divisiveness in policing. Members of the Caribbean Federation of Police Welfare Associations, or CFPWA, began their 3-day intersessional meeting yesterday.
What do policing and politics have in common? On the surface, not much. But a former police commissioner says interference by politicians in police forces might need tackling on a national level. Former Police Commissioner Vernon Francois was the guest speaker at the opening of the Caribbean Federation of Police Welfare Associations intersessional meeting on Wednesday. He says some political involvement is expected. However, there must be clear lines of demarcation between the enforcement and executive arms of government.
The problem is, in my view, is when this involvement reflects in areas of obvious interference, such as who the commissioner should promote or who he should transfer.
The former top cop says police officers too must stay out of active partisan politics.
As Commissioner of Police, I encourage my colleagues to exercise their rights to take part in the national political process by casting the ballots during national elections. What I discouraged was for police officers to publicly associate with political parties. Notwithstanding their constitutional rights, openly practicing partisan politics is a sure recipe for divisiveness.
Well, a glimpse into the world of sports is next, but first, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
An insurance policy is a legal document that defines losses that are covered and those that are not covered, as well as the rights and responsibilities of the insurance company and the insured. Cooperators General Insurance, ensuring you are protected during this hurricane season.